Hello my friends, I am G Hondo and welcome once again to our Let's Play of OpenTTD. This is episode 11. At the end of episode 10, we noticed that this bus here was getting close to its end of service lifetime. I spent a bit of time off camera trying to find how to actually renew these vehicles, because I seem to remember there being some way of doing it through its depot. But I cruised all around through here and could not find it. After a great deal of searching, I actually did find a way to do it, and it's going to be seem very strange. So up in the settings, and not under vehicles, which would have made sense, but under company, there is an option here to auto-renew vehicles, which I've clicked on, and you can also specify when to do it. I've just set it arbitrarily for 6 months after, so that bus, which is at 11 of 12 years, will go to 12 years and 6 months, and then the next time it goes to a depot, it will be replaced with a new bus. So, le passenger bus est mort. Vive le passenger bus. Ah, silliness. Anyway, so that is now set, so we shouldn't have to worry about that too much. It should go on its own. We'll probably still get a lot of the pop-ups for them as other vehicles are getting close to their age, but if, assuming that that setting works, then we shouldn't have to actually actively worry about it. So anyway, we can go ahead and get the game rolling again. Yeah, we're going to get messages about it, but that's okay. We can just ignore these. Quite a few of them, apparently. I guess that's the downfall of building quite a few vehicles all at once. They all then age all at once. But that's okay. So, at this point, we're just waiting for a mission to finish. We've got a bit of a race going between the last few trips of this oil and these grain here, which is getting some pretty aggressive attack on it going. So, we should be getting there fairly soon. So, I'm curious actually which one will complete first. This one's so close, but this one is moving a bit faster, so because it's got a whole pile of vehicles servicing it, whereas this just has the one train. So we'll go ahead and put the speed up for a bit, and let's see who wins. While we're waiting for that, let's check on our opponents. This one's not doing too well, although it's going to start improving. This is the one that crashed earlier, and probably will continue to crash every time I restart the game, which is kind of annoying. See how the other one's doing. Well, it's doing okay. It's certainly not making a lot of money. Choppers are definitely not as good as planes. They're almost as expensive in terms of both buying and maintaining, but they just don't have the speed of planes, which nor the capacity, which means they just don't make as much profit. So they're very convenient, but they're not very practical. So unless, the only time I can really even see using a helicopter would be, for an example, if say you had, a city here and a city here, or a factory and a factory or something, and you just, like me, don't want to use a boat. But obviously building a bridge for cars would be way too expensive. Here you might want to use a helicopter, because it's way too short to worry about using a plane, but a helicopter would be able to make that short little trip pretty easy. So that's about the only time I can see doing that, or if there's just the terrain is like basically there's a little mountain in the way or something, so just the number of hills, your vehicles wouldn't be able to climb them at all, then you may want to use a helicopter. But other than that, I really don't see a point. No, that's not so good. But it actually looked like that one vehicle kind of went around the one that had broken down, which meant it was very much driving on the wrong side of the road. Not sure if that was actually a thing or if that was just my eyes, but it certainly looked like that one just went around it. Not so good. Alright, we'll let these buzz through again. Yeah, we're up to 9. Yeah, okay, I'm really thinking this one maybe still will be the one to finish first, because it really only needs one more train to go. Where is that train? There it is. Yeah, there's just not a lot waiting, because these... Oh, they've dropped again. That was 50,000, I'm pretty sure, the last episode when I looked at it. So this is dropping rapidly. Well, thankfully this mission is almost done, so after that we won't worry about how much or little it hauls. Unless these do actually run out. I'm pretty sure. Hang on a second. Am I blind or did that go back to 50? Or are there two of them here or something? I think I'm losing my mind. A second ago, I swear I just clicked on that and it said 40. Now it says, never mind. It doesn't matter. I'm clearly losing my mind. Well, let's go ahead and get this going here. Almost there. Because I'm pretty sure that this will be the last train that... I'm pretty sure this one will finish that. The only way I can't be 100% sure because this doesn't really round very well, as far as I can tell, so there's a small probability it's going to just miss, but I'm pretty sure that this will finish it. So let's go ahead and let this guy go. There we go, destination in sight. Another new aircraft. I'm not going to worry about too much. We may add another plane route at some point, but it's low priority. I only did the other one just for fun, so not because it's actually efficient or anything, or well, I shouldn't say it's not efficient, but it's not necessary for any of our goals. So. Oh wow, yeah, the reliability. All that time waiting for the oil, the reliability still ticks down, so I'm not surprised it needs more maintenance. But anyway, yes, that did complete that mission, so now we're just waiting for the new one to arrive. And we'll get started on that. I do hope everyone's enjoying the series so far, and I thank you for sticking with me to this point. If you're this far into the series with me, then you must be enjoying it at least a little bit, and hopefully you're finding them nice and relaxing. That's entirely the point of why I'm doing this whole channel. Any series I make, all the games I'm playing, we're just here to have some fun and to keep things calm and relaxed. If that's the sort of thing you're into, welcome aboard, and I hope you'll find a nice happy home here. Okay, so we have new mission. It is another passenger mission. So this little Stanby Cross. Okay, so that's not helpful, but that's a decent city. Another decent city over there, little one there, moderate one there. Okay. Another thing I could do, if I really felt like it, these do technically generate passengers. Or they accept passengers. I'm not sure if they actually generate passengers. Probably do. Let's just quickly check, because I am curious. Oops, not road construction, airport. Actually, I wouldn't even... Okay, so it does supply passengers. It doesn't, for some reason, supply mail. It accepts mail, but doesn't supply any. That's just very bizarre. Maybe just for fun, what we'll do is... Because there's quite a few these oil fields all around here. I don't actually want the oil from them, per se. But all the passengers I will take. Maybe, just for fun, we'll make some air traffic. And instead of actually connecting another city, we'll just connect up all these. Yeah, that could be fun. Let's do that. Okay. So now all we need is just an airport to service here. And we could, by all rights, actually make it a helicopter if we really wanted to, but... You know what? Yeah, let's do helicopters. Let's give competition to that other AI. So let's try and find a decent spot. That is the one advantage as well of the smallest heliport. Actually, that might be a problem. I'm not sure I can build a depot. Does that contain it? Because I can't have a... Well, surely it has to be able to, or that other AI wouldn't have never been able to build an actual vehicle, so... But anyway, what I was about to say is because it is only a single square, but with a good catchment range, it's much easier to fit than even these smaller airports. Because the smallest one we can build right now is a city size, and it pretty much has to be on the outskirts. Whereas these little helicopter ones can go wherever. I can tuck it in right there and that'll be fine. Now let's make sure I'm actually able to build a vehicle from it. Because I do not see an actual heli depot. So how precisely did this one build aircraft? Because as far as I know, it only uses choppers. We're just going to take a quick jump here and see. Oh, it's built actual planes, not just choppers. That's unfortunate. Okay. Well, we're going to get rid of this then. This is not going to be helpful to us. It seems very strange that you can build a heliport, but you can't actually build a helicopter because you have no depot for it. Unless I can build it... Where is one of my other airports? Where was that? Dunstock is one, that'll do. Can I build helicopters? Oh, okay, alright, this will work then. So I can use an airport for now as a depot just to build the actual helicopter. Then it'll fly from there. Oops, I should really leave that open. Depot there. And then it'll have to just fly from there to here. Wow, that's a long way. That is a very, very long way. All the way from there to there. Every single time it needs maintenance. Oh, sorry, it's not even that one. It was... Where'd it go? There. So it has to make that journey every time it needs maintenance. That is not ideal. But we're in for this series for fun, not for necessarily peak efficiency. So I'm actually going to build the tiniest possible airport I'm allowed to nearby. And its job isn't even going to be to cover this, but simply as a maintenance depot for the heliport. Is this efficient? Not even close. But, like I say, we're here for fun. So we're going to build this nice little airport out here in the middle of nowhere. It services nothing. There's no catchment. But it is a perfectly good hangar for us. Because that is how I like to play. We're having some fun. There we go. So it'll be a Tricario. And buy one of those. So what we'll have it do, so this is, I'm going to just call this Oil Rigs to, what's this place called? Stanby Cross. EX Loop. And what it will do is it will go from maintenance via the heliport out to each of these and back each time. Again, not the most efficient, but we're here for fun, not for efficiency. I'll probably want to add another maintenance in between because this will be quite a bit for it. That'll do for now, and we'll have a maintenance after, let's say, maybe here. So on its way back here, it can first pop into here if it wants to, but I will make the maintenances optional, as I always do. There's no need to do full loads at any of these places, and this is a passenger. Oh, it's actually going to pick up the mail too automatically. Well, that's convenient. Didn't actually want it to or ask it to, but I'm certainly not going to complain. There we go. And now we'll let that go. This chopper will come out. and take off. And yes, I once again will mention, I know this is not efficient what I did here at this airport, and it doesn't really matter to me. We're here for fun. We're not here for efficient gameplay. We're not here for, optimized or making everything the absolute best. We are here for fun. And I thought it would be fun to have a little chopper that just picks up people back and forth from the oil rigs. So that's what we're doing. Okay, this one here is now active. Oh, and you're just now telling me that we did that. Thank you for that. You see, the speed of a helicopter is equal to a plane that's broken down. So that's what I was saying earlier. A helicopter is definitely not as good as a plane. But for these trips, I just wanted to use a helicopter is really what it comes down to. I'm still overall a train guy, but helicopters and planes are fun too once in a while. So, go ahead and get this guy activated. So obviously, as usual, these first few trips will not make much, if anything. Well, I guess this coming from here will make us some money, but there will be nothing for our mission yet because none of these stations will be active. There we go. Yes, I know. Thank you. I'm already working on that. So now this one's active, and yep, passenger traffic. So I think we actually could safely clone this copter a couple of times. Because helicopters, much like planes, will not ever really interfere with each other too much. Because if they can't land, they just wait, so. So I'm waiting here just to stagger them a little bit, just so there's a little bit more gap, because I don't have them set to wait full loads. So I don't want them to basically just arrive instantly behind the other one and have nothing to do. So I'm just manually giving them some time in between. In fact, we'll speed it up a little just so it's plenty of time in between. There we go, that should do. And now this one is green to go. Fantastic. Okay, there we go, this one's got stuff from Stanby. That's taking to the next one to get activated. New Drayside. I'm pretty sure later on there are planes, maybe not helicopters, but I think there are planes that can do oil. Well, I'm not 100% sure if that's in the base game or if that was just one of the GRFs I had added at some point. So if we ever do want oil, I'll probably end up having to actually just use boats. I might end up sending it right there, actually. I might be able to get a ship dock close enough without too much hassle to connect that up, and if so, it'll be easy. Even by boat, this is not a bad trip. It's pretty short, so it should be okay. But anyway, I'm only going to do that if there's a mission for it, which so far there isn't. So for now, we're only using these oil fields just to haul workers back and forth, passenger traffic. I can't imagine there's a lot of tourists for an oil field, but I have to assume there's rig workers. That's where the majority of these passengers going back and forth would be. Speed this along here. Still is a bit profitable, so it's alright. And it's not even being profitable both ways yet, that's just from a single trip, so I think we'll be okay with doing it this way. You can see they just nicely wait, circle around. And because it doesn't take as long for takeoffs and landings like it does for planes, they don't have to circle for as much. And with only 3 of them, even at worst, if all 3 of them are trying to land here at once, it still isn't that bad. So there's still lots of passengers waiting to go. Lots of mail. But that's fine. Not overly worried about it. We're just gonna let that run. Fantastic. I'm not quite surprised that this one still hasn't finished. I would have thought by now it should have. But we're almost there. So I think what we'll do is I'm just going to let this one run, and as soon as this one finishes, we'll call that an episode, and in the next episode, we'll set up whatever mission replaces it. And I think that'll work just fine. So we'll speed this up. Let a few more of these trucks come in. I'm so glad I made 3 of them, because this is a mess. This is a total mess. But at least by having multiple destinations, some traffic can still flow. But clearly, there's not a whole lot of grain coming out. Yeah, that's dropped quite a bit. And it's the grain we're waiting on, so. Of course, having a vehicle break down in the middle of the road is also not terribly helpful. That slows things down a lot as well. But that's okay. Might even have been worthwhile putting in a second depot here, but that's okay. This mission's almost done. If it gives us another mission for this place, I probably will increase or add a second depot or something just to lighten the load here. But really it's down here that's more of a problem, but either way. Later on, if we get more efficient vehicles that can haul more at once and we don't need as many, that'll help as well. But for now, all we're allowed is the really low capacity trucks, so very early ones. So for now, we're just doing as we do. And we're at 99, so we're pretty close to done here. There's some more green there. I think that might be it, or maybe one more. Come on, should be there now. Don't make a liar out of me. Go ahead and finish. Well, it's going to make a liar out of me. Okay. There it goes. Okay, so that mission is done, and with that, I will say goodbye for this episode. So thanks you to everyone for joining me, and I hope to see you again next time. And we'll see you on the other side. Bye now.